Information for There Is an Answer.
The following psychic demonstrations are real and have not been rehearsed.
Everything was right. I couldn't believe it. I had tears running down my face.
Everything was right.
Yeah,
That's
I expected 50-50 maybe. No, everything.
All right, who else called? Who else called? You called.
Yes, I called, and I got a nice psychic by the name of Christiana, and I had some questions about my business, and she was very accurate, and she was very helpful.
And the business is going well?
Terrific.
Well, great. All right. And you called?
Yes, I did. I was a skeptic at first, and then I called the line, and they were so on target, I call once a week now.
That's amazing. One story after the next is more incredible than the one before each time. The experience is psychic readings over the telephone. We're going to see and hear about them today on There Is an Answer.
Welcome to the program which answers questions about love, romance, career, and money.
Hey.
And now, here's the host of There Is an Answer, Richard Foster.
Thank you all for being here today. We're going to have some fun on There Is an Answer. We're going to meet some people who claim that they can look into the future through your telephone. Now, from what I've been told, there's a phenomenon sweeping the nation. Everyone from homemakers to investment bankers, singles and married couples, the young and not so young, are using the telephone to talk directly, one-on-one, with astrologers, psychics, tarot card readers, even numerologists. Well, in the next half hour, we're going to psychically connect the entire country by telephone and television. In addition to psychic demonstrations by the guests in our studio, we're going to hear psychic predictions from across the country and give you at home a chance to call a special number where you too can get your own personal psychic answers. So let's get started and meet the person who's helping to psychically connect America. She's a professional astrologer whose phone number is known to some of Hollywood's most glamorous stars, and as a nearby resident of our nation's capital, she's on 24-hour-a-day call to some of Washington's most powerful leaders. Please welcome with me the very talented and gifted Gail Summer. Thank you for being here. Well, from what I hear, you have been very busy.
Whew, it's been quite a year.
Oh, what have you created?
We call it the Professional Psychic Counselors Network, and that pretty well describes what it is. It is a group of professional psychics who are counselors. We have astrologers, tarot card readers, numerologists, and they are the best in the country. Anyway, they're now available by telephone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you would not believe how many thousands of people are calling the line.
Really?
It's great.
Thank you, thank you. Why do you think it's been such a success?
Oh, there's no question in my mind. It's because of the quality and the professionalism of the counselors on the line. They are professionals in addition to being psychic. Some of these people have master's degrees and
Really?
PhDs in counseling. And they are doing some incredible work on the line. Isn't that right? Yes? Good counselors.
By the way, I don't know how many of you saw this, but I was watching the ABC News program 2020, and they actually gave out Gail's network number to the nation. What happened?
You know, I didn't know that was coming.
You didn't?
I had no idea that was going to be on the air. I'm just glad we were prepared to handle all those calls. And it was crazy. It was a madhouse.
Really? Well, how do you get all these psychics together in one room answering phones?
That's a very good question, because we don't.
You don't?
We do not have all these psychics together in one room.
Well,
In
I
fact,
picture them sort of all gathered together floating around over telephones.
no, it's not like that. In fact, that's what's so special about our line. When someone calls our line, it goes directly into the home or office of one of our professional counselors.
Really? How's
Yes.
that possible?
Well, it's high-tech call forwarding. It's new, and it was created just for us by the phone company.
You mean if I'm, say, in Florida on vacation and I call your line, I could be talking to a psychic in Nebraska or California? Or...
Yeah.
Really?
That's exactly how it is. In fact, that's what enables me to gather the very best psychic counselors from all over the country. They don't have to be in one place. I can get psychics, the best, anywhere in the country.
Well, how do you get a good psychic reading? I mean, if you pardon me asking, when you're not right there in person with the psychic.
I think The readings are better over the telephone for a couple of reasons.
Yeah, well, you're on the same wavelength, but what else?
Well, the main reason I think it's better is because it's really confidential. It's one-on-one, and it takes place where both you and the counselor feel most comfortable.
And
you're not face-to-face with someone. You can say anything you want. They'll never see you. They'll never know who you are when you call that line. It's one-on-one. It's personal. It's confidential. You can really let your energy down. The readings are great, believe me. You're going to see.
I'd like to talk to some of the audience members that have actually used the Professional Psychic Counseling Network.
All right.
Excuse me. What's your name?
My name's Marilyn,
And
I called Gail Summers' line, and I have to tell you, I did not believe in astrology. And my Christian background told me not to do it, but I did it anyway. And she told me that I was going to be very wealthy in a couple years, and that I didn't have anything to worry about. Isn't that great?
isn't that great? Is it happening?
Not yet.
All right, who else is called? What's your name?
My name is Keith.
And
I've called the line a couple of times. I've spoken with DeBen and Micah, and they were able to help me with problems I was having in my relationship.
Well, great. Thank you. Who else? You've called.
Yeah, I've called the line a few times.
And
I asked about my job prospects for the future.
Right.
And the psychics amazed me because they knew what field I was in without even telling them.
Without being told. That's incredible. I understand that you wanted a psychic reading, right?
Yes, I did.
Right. Well, then you have to walk to the phone. Now, let me explain what Gail's helped us do here. Joining us by television from her office in a few seconds will be a world-renowned psychic and medium known as Elizabeth Lynn. We'll be able to see Elizabeth on the monitor, but she can only hear us through her telephone. Now, in just a second, we're going to have our volunteer, whose name is
Judy.
Judy, get a psychic reading from Elizabeth Lynn. Hoping it's not busy.
Psychic Counselors Network, this is Elizabeth Lynn. How may I help you?
Hello, Elizabeth. This
Hello.
is Richard Foster. How are you?
Well, hi, Richard. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm here with Gail Summer, and we have a volunteer from our audience who would like a psychic reading.
All right.
All right, here she is.
Sure.
Hello.
Hello. How are you today?
Oh, just fine.
What's your name?
Judy.
What is it?
Judy.
Judy. Hi, Judy. What I'm going to be doing here on the line, Judy, is kind of just blend our energies together, okay? And for a moment, I'd like for you just be real calm and let a situation or a question that you'd like to ask just flow in your mind gently while I do my little tuning in, okay?
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
So just keep it in mind, and then when I'm going to go into my little thoughts here and kind of just connect with you, okay? Now, do you have a question?
What do you see for me in my future?
Okay. I see you making a lot of changes, particularly starting in about September, okay? Either location or job, but there's some major, you're kind of like at the Y at the road, and you're trying to decide what to do. You're going to have a really great choice coming into your life.
Okay.
The financial situation is going to smooth out. You're going to have a sudden amount of money come in. It's not going to be like great wealth, but it's going to really afford you a path or direction that you hadn't really had open to you at this time, okay?
Well, that's great.
So you got another question?
Yeah, will I ever be happy?
Will you be happy?
No,
You know,
just-
Judy, happiness is something that we create for ourselves. And so find a path or direction that you feel good. That's going to make you happy. Okay? Can you do that?
I'm going to try real hard.
Yeah, focus on what makes you happy and do it and have a beautiful life. You've got some excellent choices coming by September, okay?
That's wonderful. I needed to hear that.
Yeah, just, we can't sit at home waiting. We got to get out there and kind of look for them, but they're there for you, okay?
Okay.
And I got something special I'd like to kind of tell you. I'd like something very private I'd like to share with you, okay?
Oh, sure.
All right?
Well, if this is private, then let's take the phone call off the studio mic. and just leave it on the telephone so that they can talk together. And let's go to a break for a moment. When we come back, I'll try to sort of craftily get it out of them what was said in private.
Since ancient times, great leaders have known the power of the supernatural. Now the world's top psychics are standing by to help answer your innermost questions. Call the number on the screen now for your personal psychic consultation. Not a taped message, but a one-on-one reading from someone who knows and cares about your future. Your very own psychic counselor will use his or her special powers to answer all your questions about love and romance, money and luck. Created by Gail Summer, the astrologer to the stars, this one-of-a-kind phone service forwards your phone call at no additional charge to the home or office of a leading professional psychic. Calls to your very own personal psychic are just $3 per minute, and you'll be sent a valuable free gift when you call.
Concerned about money, love, the purpose of your life? Gain the power of knowing. Why not call with your questions right now?
Schedules have been arranged so that a top professional psychic is available to do your personal reading anytime you call, 24 hours a day, even right now. For adult and entertainment purposes only. Welcome back to There Is an Answer.
Gail, I have a question of my own for you. What's the difference between astrology or a professional astrologer and the horoscope, which I read in the paper every day, which is the only thing I know about astrology, actually?
Oh, well, there's a very big difference. What you read in the daily newspaper, of course, is pretty general. It's what we call sun sign astrology, and it can't really apply very much to any given individual. Now, if you were to consult a professional astrologer, they would draw up a chart of the energies of the universe at that moment in time and space of your birth. So it becomes very, very personal. In fact, if you know your birth time within a few minutes, it becomes very precise.
So it's like your astrological fingerprint, maybe?
That's a very good analogy. Let me show you.
All right.
Just before the show.
A demonstration.
We had a volunteer. A young man by the name of Mark gave me his birthday. Mark, are you...
Oh, was he getting an astrological forecast?
Yes, I...
All right, great. Mark, come take my place.
Okay, is there anything on your mind?
Well, I'm just out of college, about a year out of college, and I guess I'm kind of at a crossroads. What does the rest of my life hold for me? Can you tell me that?
Sure, I sure can. Let me say this. Your chart is loaded. Have you ever had a feeling like you had a destiny? Because, yeah, you do. You in fact, boy, what a chart. You have such a creative genius inside of you waiting to break through. Some people would look at this chart, and the first thing they would see would be this, which they would think that your life may have been easier than most in some ways. But that's not necessarily true. What I see is an aspect which tells me that there is a deep-seated emotional pain in your life. You may come off as cool and collected, but deep on the inside, you're extremely sensitive to everything that's going on. And this aspect that I'm talking about holds the key to unlocking this creative genius that you have in your life. You belong in a creative field, and unlocking that emotional pain. Now, I almost hate to say this, but it's just such a classic aspect. I have to say this. What this is associated with is a sense of abandonment, emotional abandonment in childhood. Does that mean anything to you?
Actually, my parents traveled a lot when I was younger. I was alone quite often as a young child.
Okay, that's going to be unlocking the key to your creative genius. You will be going through a time during the next 2 years where you will be doing a lot of searching in your life. In about 6 months, you will be, in effect, reborn. You will find your true direction in life. I get the sense from looking at the movement in your chart that you've been very frustrated in the work that you've been doing since you got out of college. And what you need to do is allow your self-expression to come through. There's genius in this chart. You don't like being financially dependent on anyone. And I want to let you know this. You will never have trouble making money. In fact, you will make your own fortune. No matter what field you choose, you will be successful. That's really, really clear in this chart. But if you actually could make an impact on the world. You have something to say. And you need to express yourself creatively in order to do that. I get the sense that you may be traveling, or do you have a move planned in the next couple of months?
Actually, this summer I'm considering going out to Los Angeles to start up a new career, so this might be like what you're talking about. Sounds good.
What do tarot cards say about love? Next on There Is an Answer. Since ancient times, great leaders have known the power of the supernatural. Now the world's top psychics are standing by to help answer your innermost questions. Call the number on the screen now for your personal psychic consultation. Not a taped message, but a one-on-one reading from someone who knows and cares about your future. Your very own psychic counselor will use his or her special powers to answer all your questions about love and romance, money and luck. Created by Gail Summer, the astrologer to the stars, this one-of-a-kind phone service forwards your phone call at no additional charge to the home or office of a leading professional psychic. Calls to your very own personal psychic are just $3 per minute, and you'll be sent a valuable free gift when you call.
Concerned about money, love, the purpose of your life? Gain the power of knowing. Why not call with your questions right now?
Schedules have been arranged so that a top professional psychic is available to do your personal reading anytime you call. 24 hours.